Last night was a very controversial night in Scottish football. There was some many disgruntled bears. I was one. Were you a disgruntled Jambo bear?
No, definitely
Just
not.
Owen Cameron then, and Chris Sutton has decided to poke the bear, so to speak, because he's come out with a tweet that is going to sink Rangers Twitter and Rangers potentially as a football club. Well, no, it's not quite that bad, but there's a lot to talk about, and there's two penalty instances that Chris Sutton is referring to in his tweet coming up right now, as he says, "How are people, in brackets, mostly bears, even arguing about the award of this? Nick Walsh was correct on both penalties tonight. ... Then he hits the thumbs down. Oh yeah, he did put out another tweet kind of praising Nick Montgomery and Celtic for finding a way to win, and Nick Montgomery for the style of play he produced in the second half. But we're focusing on this tweet because
Well, it's funny enough. He's praising Nick Montgomery, yet Nick Montgomery thought neither penalty was a penalty. So,
yep, obviously he mustn't have read Nick Montgomery's comments before he fired out his tweet. But at the end of the day, I think Sutton's tried to say about this penalty, he's referring to the second incident with Kyogo being brought down by Joe Newell. And then he's kind of said about Walsh, oh, he was correct on both penalties tonight. The way he said that makes me think Sutton doesn't actually believe the first penalty is a penalty, and he simply just said that second line to wind Rangers fans up. Would you agree with that? Or am I reading in between the lines here?
I think you're just making that up.
You think I'm making that up?
I don't see any correlation between these
Well,
tweets.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what Nick Walsh seen. You see that first penalty? I don't understand. I've never seen a penalty given for...
No, I've never seen a penalty. Normally that would just result in like a drop ball, but I guess with the position that it's in, they would probably just award a free kick to the defensive team, or they would just give it to the defending team and they would kick it back to the other team. I've never seen a penalty being given for, a clash of heads in the box when it's just two guys contesting for the same ball. I've never seen that ever in a game of football. And I just can't believe how, I can't believe how it was just accepted at the time.
Yeah, there is replays online where it looked like Johnson might have been offside. To be honest, I don't even want to focus too much on that. My problem with it is, this has opened a can of worms. See, every time there's going to be a clash of heads in the box and someone goes down, there's going to be this appeal. I think there was an incident in the Rangers-Aberdeen game where I think Rangers were attacking. I think it was Goldson, it might have been, who headbutted one of the Aberdeen guys, but neither of them went down. They were straight back up, so none of them were selling it, so to speak. But, is that where we draw the line? If Alistair Johnson got straight back up, there's not a chance. There's not a chance of giving this as a penalty. It's all about the fact that he's laid out deed. And here, I'm not going to say he was faking it because he looked like he got seriously injured. But at the end of the day, do you not think if he got up straight away, they're just not giving this here?
If they gets up straight away, then it's a nothing burger, and it's just two guys that went for the same ball, aerial battle, and they've collided with each other's heads. It's definitely not a penalty for me. I was shocked that the referee pointed to the spot and that nobody made a bigger deal. Hibs players didn't really seem to understand why it was given, but even the commentary team is I'm just surprised there wasn't a bigger deal made out of this.
Football's played at a million miles an hour. If you slow it down in slow motion, right, when you look at VAR, it's going to look like the Hibs defender has just stuck the head through Alistair Johnson. But see, the reality is, football's quick. See, when Alistair Johnson's head at that clear and he's connected with him, I mean, you're talking less than a second has passed. We're talking, tenths of a second. Second in Formula One's massive, but see, in football, it's not. See, half a second goes by like that. There's no intent from him. He's tried to win the ball and he's hit Alistair Johnson. It's an unfortunate one in here. I think if the tables are flipped, man, if this is Celtic at Parkhead and a Hibs player gets headbutted like this for Alistair Johnson, are you trying to tell me they're going to give this?
Right, well, you know what? Alistair Johnson won the head, so if this is the rule, then going forward, I expect a lot of penalties to be given. So if you win the header, if you get to the ball first, then the person that doesn't get the ball, if they make any sort of contact with your head and their head, then according to the referee and according to the decisions tonight, then we're going to get penalties. And I think if that's the case, we'll be getting multiple penalties every game. So yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on this for the rest of the season. And I'm going to see if there is any incident similar to this, and we'll see if any penalties are dished out. But I'm going to call it right now. I don't think we'll see another penalty like this and for the rest of the season or any season. Because I've been watching football for decades now, and I've no seen a penalty being given for this. I've seen some horrible penalties, but I've never seen a penalty being given because two guys went for a header and one just slightly hit the other guy in the head with his own hit. I've never seen a clash of heads result in a penalty. Never seen it before.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to this, right? But you look when Alistair Johnson handled the ball against Rangers, and you know what? Oh, that was offside. But the reality of that decision was they didn't even know about the offside. It is baffling how that does not get given as a penalty, but this one does. This is a clash of heads, man. I don't get it. As for the second penalty, we have a still image here of Kyogo getting brought down by Joe Newell. His foot is on the line, his left foot there. But you know what? I think images are deceiving. How fast this happened. Is this at the exact point of contact, or is this after the contact or whatever? See this one, the more I look at it, it happened last kick of the game. I think I was more raging about it. I can see why. It looks like it's on the line for this image, but honestly, I think they should have just stuck with the referee's decision. I think the referee's seen it as it happened.
What's the referee's decision? No foul?
Yeah. Honestly, I think in football, if you get your shot away, then I honestly don't see why a foul should be given. See what Joe Newell did here? Did it impact Kyogo's shot?
No, because the shot was already away. Newell could have followed through and made contact or not made any contact. It's not going to change the outcome of the shot. The shot was already away.
And Davy Marshall caught it. See if this is a pass for Kyogo, right? And it's going to, I don't know, Matt O'Reilly, for example, and he gets wiped out. Then I think you've more of a case because Kyogo could get on the end of like an O'Reilly flick, which is exactly what he did here. But the reality is, the shot was saved, it was dealt with. It's stupid for Joe Newell. And anyway, guys, we can complain about penalties and whatever we want. I mean, it's funny how Chris Sutton doesn't even seem to mention the Martin Boyle incident, which received him in a dead leg, or the handball incident for Anthony Ralston. And even when Boyd brought it up on Sky, like the presenter just laughs at him, and you've got McFadden laughing and Lennon laughing.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to present a legitimate case, and they're basically shooting him down, suggesting that you don't believe that's a penalty. You're just saying that because it's Celtic. But nah, I think Nick Montgomery thought it was a penalty. Yeah. So Martin Boyle was very upset with the fact he got
if you actually look on Twitter, right, it's not just Rangers fans and Hibs fans. It's a lot of people. So
look, we can say penalty to Rangers, and we can joke and laugh, but at the end of the day, this season, Celtic have received 12 penalties and they've conceded none. So there's obviously something going on there. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about corruption in favour of Rangers anymore or any other team. I don't want to hear about how decisions go against Celtic or how they're always being cheated or whatnot because, like I said, 12 penalties for, none against.
Look at the emphasis though, right? Look how much emphasis was on Connor Goldson's handballs last night, right? And neither were, because the second one's irrelevant because there's a foul. And the first one, right, flicks off the body and therefore it doesn't count. And also it's in a natural position. See, in the post-match, we watched it all. There was not one mention of Anthony Ralston's handball tonight, which we all thought was a clear handball. Now, why is that? Like, why are they not looking at that? Honestly, I just don't get it. And the fact that Boyd gets laughed at. We made a fid this morning talking about how we like the fact there's banter in the Scottish football punditry game. But you feel like Chris Boyd is fighting on all fronts. You feel like they're literally all against him. Like, if you look at it tonight, the presenter, I think she's definitely more Celtic leaning than Rangers. You've got Neil Lennon and McFadden. I don't need to explain who they're leaning towards. Yesterday, you had Joe Lewis and Sutton. When do you actually get a punditry team on Sky that's like all Rangers?
Or even 2/3 Rangers?
Yeah, you don't. It seems like it's Chris Boyd.
Chris Boyd's flying the flag.
He's running on the Normandy beaches circa back then, in the World War II. Honestly, I think Chris Boyd's been dealt a and you know what? He actually deals with it alright.
You sometimes get Kenny Miller on, but you never get Kenny Miller with Chris Boyd.
No, you don't, but I mean, could you imagine if you spun this and it was like Rangers pundits laughing at Chris Sutton, suggesting that they should have had a penalty against him? They'd be fucking greeting about it. And here, you could maybe argue we're greeting about it, but the reality is, I think Boyd's got half a point. If Martin Boyle received a dead leg for that tackle, and you know what, there is clear contact with Boyle. But I would say, see from the actual angle of the referee when it shows you, it does look like Boyle dives. So I'll actually give the referee the benefit of the doubt on that. But with VAR and surely the fact that he got a dead leg, does that not kind of prove there was contact?
I mean, there was contact. Question is, was there enough contact?
It's the Ralston one as well, though. It's like, well, why are they not checking that?
I can accept that both Hibernian penalties not being given, but I also think I think if both Hibernian penalties were given, they'd be pretty soft. But I think both Celtic penalties were soft, yet they were given. So, I can accept that if the referee gives no penalties. But the fact there was 4 penalty shouts and both Celtics were given, and both Hibs ones were pretty much just glossed over and not even looked at. I mean, there's definitely a conspiracy going on here.
I like my Maz, right? And let's say there's 4 penalty decisions in this game. What are the odds out of these 4 penalties, the 2 that were actually given are given, and the 2 that weren't given aren't given? If you honestly think of it logically. Like, if you had to rank them in order, first to last, which ones should have been given in your eyes? First.
Probably this one here that we're seeing on the screen. Out of them all, I think that's maybe the most legitimate one. I think the least legitimate one's the head clash. I just don't think that's a penalty at all.
I would put the Ralston one first for the simple reason is I honestly can't tell this is in or out. I think it's, but I would put this second. Boyle, it does look like a bit of a dive, but there is contact. Yeah, and for me, fourth. I don't know if there's a rule about head clashes.
Well,
in the box.
people are saying the Ralston one hit his face. I'd need to see. I thought it hit his arm. Like, looks like it hits his arm, but I'd need to see a better angle of it. But again,
his arm then his face.
Sky Sports didn't show us a better angle.
No,
so they didn't even look at the incident. And again, the Boyle one, we didn't really get to see it from many angles. They kind of just glossed over that. I mean, whatever. Both penalties Celtic got. And is it any surprise that Celtic came into this game with 10 penalties and none against? There was 4 potential penalty shouts tonight, and Celtic got their 2, and the 2 against them, they survived. So, yeah, whatever. 12 penalties for, none against. You do the maths.
You do the maths, guys. Anyway, till next time. Peace.